Hey guys, GWS here with another edition of MAGA Farm. Now this is going to be part of a series almost. We're going to be doing some updates on the farm, but more importantly, this is also going to be documenting the raising of our animals. So here we have bantams and we have bronze broad breast, and then we have white broad breast turkeys, right? So these right here, these are our bantams, our chickens. These are going to be our egg layers. We may end up butchering some, we may not. We may end up selling some. We're going to be incubating a lot of eggs and all that. We've already got a big egg collection. You'll see that here in a second. Here's our bantams. And the sound in the background, yes, we literally raise our chickens in our laundry room. Just a product of small farm. Got to make use of your room, right? So there's those, really cute. There's their water. There's their food. Starting to get a little messy in there. I ain't too happy about my presence, but they would get over it. All right, and here's a lot of our bronzes. And there's a couple whites in here, but it's mostly bronze. Of course, water, food. As far as our setup, here is a heat lamp. We got heat lamps for all of our bantams, all of our chickens. And of course we keep our feed and our flakes in here too. And, you know, if smells could emit through the phone, you'd realize, yes, this is pretty much farming it up, right? So we got that. This one doesn't have a top yet. In fact, usually for the chickens you don't need a top because they can't jump, but these little guys, they grow fast and they will jump up. So what we did was we just took a few scrap pieces of wood, nailed a screen to it, put it on top. So that's our little simple $2 solution to the problem. And we got some in here too. Here's mostly the whites. These broad-breasted, I'm gonna get butchered. So we're gonna go outside. We're gonna take a look at some updates. First of all, we're gonna go check out some updates around the house. See if stuff's a little bit dirty. Here's our dog. Hey, Sarge. Okay, this we didn't put up, so just making that clear. Come on, Sarge. Let him out. Here's our little divider here. Looks nice. Built that. We put up this double fan here. TV we put up. I'll look at all this artwork we got here. We'll let him out here a second while I take you around everything else. Yeah, there's gonna be stuff kinda laying around a little bit. Do a little bit of cleaning, but ceiling fan, beautiful. Got nice crystal right there. Put all that up. There's some artwork we put up. A lot of this we just put up the last month, so I'm just gonna briefly admire all that. Here is our new light setup. Nice amber colored lights. Really cool for at night. Really lights up well. Got some nice brick wallpaper here. Still need to put up some more of that. We're kind of sectioning off that fireplace behind there. It's not in the best spot for visibility, but we're pretty crowded in here. So, you know, you just use the space you have. So I'll just wait on our dog here. He gets to run free. And while we're waiting on our dog, I get to show you guys the gas guzzler. 2004 Honda Pilot. Just got that. Chug, chug, chug. That's right. Tree huggers. people believe in that bullshit of climate change. Oh, got our flag back up too. That was not up when we did this. Windy day. And another thing we're actually going to show too, as I watch our dog take a piss here, is I never showed the inside of the barn. So we're going to take a look at that in more detail. And I'm going to kind of go over in more detail some of the setups we have for our animals, for our farm, and stuff with a little bit of history. So we'll go over that. Let's get our dog back here. He's probably done his business. Wait on him. Yep, see, it's a lot of the time. Waiting on animals, cleaning up after animals. See, you can't really grow a lot here. The soil is just too rough, too nasty. You know, we tried to grow a tree kind of out here. I don't think you could catch it here, but there's a kind of bare spot out there. We tried to grow a tree. The tree pretty much withered and died, and we had a dog named Zoe who finished it off. Come on, Sarge. Good boy. Good boy. Yep, black German Shepherd. Pride of our life. He is, as usual, part of the family, and he is maintenance like a member of the family too. So we're going to go outside here. And we're going to take a look at some other stuff. So, I don't know if I showed the improvements. Here's a nice spice rack. I don't know if I showed that last time, but nothing unusual there. I'm sure a lot of you guys have that. So here's where we keep all of our eggs. In these buckets, nice and pickled. They'll be stored and safe for years to come. There's a lot of eggs in there, like all of those except for the top one here filled with eggs. All right, so here's our second fridge, and here is our second freezer, third freezer. A little bit of exercise stuff there. Here's a lot of our stash. Just go over that briefly. While I slip these on, then we go for a little walk. Okay, most of this stuff is stored. We got to put these up and replace our fluorescent covers. All right, so out we go. A lot of this will look familiar. Still got our Honda Fit for, you know, pretty efficient on gas. Then our Guzzler. That's right. 2004 SUV. Doing what SUVs do. A little bit of an update back here. We took all this wood from back here. We've done a lot of rearranging, a lot of cleanup. This is still our tool shed. This is a new water tank that we got. Couple $1,000. Good stuff. This was completely bare before. A little bit of shit here. Nice windy day. I'm sure you can hear that. Okay. Now this is our rooster. First of all, I don't know if I'm getting all of this perfect because the sun's kind of blocking off the screen. But see, this is our rooster. He kind of keeps order. Like, if he senses any kind of stress or anyone disturbing the equilibrium of the flock of chickens, he will attack you. But he doesn't relentlessly, aggressively attack. He's more of an order keeper. And you may even get to see it sometime. I don't know. But here's a rabbit. Right here we have 12 rabbits right now. And this is going to get crowded out pretty quickly, which is going to be great because we get to sell some of these. Now, this rabbit coop was actually pretty crafty because the 4 poles here that are connected by fence, we pounded them in. We put fencing, we put chicken wire down there so that nothing can get out. We put some spare plastic stuff from a greenhouse that used to be here as the roof so that everything slides down. You don't get any leakage into there. So the rabbits they can go under, they can enjoy themselves out here even when it rains. But anyhow, the frame of this is actually the main part of an old playground and slide. Here's the slide that went to that playground laying sideways there. You got a lot of other junky shit there. So we put a lot of this plywood on the side here, tarped it up, cut out a door. There's the door, there's the latch. So the big thing is just make sure everything's waterproof. We used, somebody was wondering on the Discord about prying wood pieces off of pallets. That's what this back is made of right here, but a lot of this is behind me. Can't really see it. Here is the extension that we built with the rabbit house. I think I showed this briefly before, but I didn't go into hard detail about it. So, this was again the roof of that playground. So this and the slide, all part of that playground. And then we did the same thing. We had plywood, and actually the whiteboards were part of an old cabinet that broke. We took all the spare wood, took all the nails out of it, and then we repurposed it because the wood, for a cabinet, it was just shit because it's just, the Chinese shit they sell us is particle board. But it works fine for a shelter because it's just, windproof, waterproof, etc. And see, we've had rabbits come in here and make nests. This is actually probably as nice or nicer in the inside as this thing. And this fencing here and this, we're actually going to be building an extension either as an isolated unit for parents and their kids, a mother and her kids, make sure new kits of rabbits are safe, or we're just going to add it. We don't know what we're going to do with this specific part yet. We're also going to be potentially trying to roof some of this off because a lot of times the chickens will come in here and they'll want to lay their eggs because the same reason the rabbits like it, the chickens like it, right? So, make sure we get everything here. Here's a lot of spare wood. You may think this just looks like junk, but we have periodically over the years found really good uses for all of this stuff. An old bike rack, but wheelbarrow right here. As you're gonna see, we're gonna go in here. We're gonna try not to let the wind blow in here. I might have shown this before, but we're gonna look at it again if you haven't seen it. Here is the indoor setup. We have some chickens laying in here right now. We changed this a little bit from last time. See, we have just a piece of old wood. I forgot what this is from. I think it's old plywood that we used for previous nesting boxes that we cut. It kind of rotted over like 2 or 3 years where we didn't have animals. So that's there. We have a piece of wood back there that kind of braces everything. We got it nailed there, and then we got this nesting set up here. And see, what happens is we ran into a problem where the chickens kept eating their own eggs because they got a little taste of the yolk because one of us broke an egg as we was getting them out of here. So, basically this setup is the eggs roll under and they can't get to the eggs to peck them. But we've also got another solution to that, which is ceramic eggs. So if you ever want a solution to chickens getting into their own productivity, that's a solution right there. But basically, for these nesting boxes, you kind of want them to be this size. I'd suggest a little bit more space. If you're going to do this setup, you may want to give them a couple inches more of depth because, they love it when it's cramped, but it can get a little bit crowded, and sometimes they don't like to lay in these. Right, so food, water, with a light there. This light actually prevents the water from freezing at night. We have this, which runs from the shed, and the shed is powered from the garage, right? So we got a pallet here, and then a pallet here, and then this holds all of these perches, and they love using these perches just to kind of sit, relax, chill. We got a little piece of plywood here for overfill from the food because they'll get in the food and scratch it. So that's a big thing. And as far as water, chickens themselves will not drink a lot of water. Like this water will probably last about 10 days. But when the turkeys get here, it's probably going to be an everyday job filling it. We got 30 turkeys, by the way. So there's going to be a lot of butchering, and we'll have a lot of documentation of their growth, right? So I don't have anything to show you, but this was a recently cleaned setup. We didn't clean the nesting box, but we cleaned pretty much everything else. So you see this grass down here, which is really important because this is what makes them comfortable. And you make chickens comfortable, they're going to lay a lot more eggs. Plus, you want animals to live a good life, right? So what that is that's Timothy grass. You can get alfalfa, it's kind of similar, but we get the Timothy grass because it also provides a little bit of nutritional value. And the same thing with these rabbits here. It's actually a lot better for the rabbits because, when you give them an environment where they can hop around peacefully, they're going to be less likely to attack each other, less likely to attack their kids, right? So you want to give a lot of room. A lot of people don't give this much room. I don't think you need this large of a setup when you're talking about raising rabbits, but we go big with our animals typically. That's kind of how we've done it for all of my life anyhow. Actually, too, you can't do it as easily here just because of all the neighbors and all the fencing. But when we've lived on actual farms, we would just let our chickens free roam because as long as you're able to get them in a nest at night one time, they're going to go to the same spot because chickens, they naturally want to stay in the same spot, right? So this is the remains of an old little rabbit house right here. And explain this is actually not even from us. Like these pallets and stuff, these are still from when we moved here 5 years ago, so they're at least that old. There was actually a far less elaborate setup. I don't think we have any remains of it. Oh, we do have remains of it. So let me just explain that. We had a tin shed that was placed here. That's kind of where this barn was, but it's not as large. The tin shed was about maybe 5 feet high by 8 feet wide by maybe like 10 feet long. So, pretty small tin shed. But in the springtime, it literally caught an 80-mile-per-hour gust of wind, and it just blew the shed straight off its foundation. So what we got, and you can see a little bit of it here, is we actually have tin down here to prevent the rabbits from digging out, which is important because basically that's what a rabbit wants to do. They will dig their burrows deeper, and they will use that same skill to try to escape. And we've had multiple escapes. Even with this, it's just a battle to try to find out where they're getting out. They will find any little spot, right? So anyhow, that's where that is. This goat house here and all this wood was in that shed. So what this was just a large area, kind of backyard. And so we're gonna go in here now. All of this was actually covered by gravel. And that over there, kind of in the distance, let me go over here and show you. Here's our grill, first of all. Here's our DirecTV, little table. Couches that we don't use very often, a little bit of trash there we have to clean up, but this is old playground that we used to have. We tore everything except for we couldn't. I think these little wood pieces are connected to concrete. We were never able to get them out. There's a little tarp under there too, and chickens are falling. But this is all right here covered by gravel with a tarp over it, and under it was pretty much pure clay. Now we've done a lot to try to fertilize this ground where it'll grow something or do something, and that's where this kind of comes into play, is when we clean up all the chickens, all the rabbits. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff here. We dump it, spread it, and the cool thing is the chickens will help us do a lot of it. And then usually, like by the time the rain comes, everything will have been spread out. So here's something for this guy right here. Like, I was talking about how this rooster right here keeps order, right? This guy is he's just a little shit. That's all I'll call him, because he will try to sneak up and attack you. And he will attack the hens too, and he'll chase turkeys around. And see, so it's like he's the little robber, and then this guy keeps order. And he'll even keep order from humans. Like, there was a situation yesterday, I was cleaning the rabbit coop. The black one that you just saw was attacking me. So it's like when the black one starts attacking, I put up my shoe. It's like I'll just let him attack my shoe to get his aggression out. Red rooster comes over, chases the black one off, turns and looks at me like, you don't start any shit either, right? So that he does. I mean, I'm sure that's not specifically what he's doing, but it's like his whole natural thing is to keep order, and he's kind of, what you would want in an animal to perform that function. He's a really good rooster. He's probably the best rooster I've ever seen, because like most roosters, if you haven't raised chickens, most roosters are very aggressive, and they'll rape the hens, and then the hens will, they'll have to get away, especially if you have multiple roosters. So like if you have 3 or 4 roosters, they'll be hyper aggressive. But it's like he is so balanced, and he's so good with the hens, and he's only aggressive when he needs to be, which is great. Okay, so I don't think there's a lot else to talk about. Like, I've tried to go in detail, but basically what this series is going to end up being is I'm just going to do updates every few months, and we are going to track specifically the growth of our animals. For example, when I have to clean out the bins, we'll go over that. The bins, we'll go over that process a little bit. Though it's a simple process, it's just taking a hose to this shit. But, I'll at least show you how much they grow, how quickly they grow. Because, I didn't document this probably when I should have. But basically, within the course of a little over a week, they've more than tripled in size. Like, they grow like nobody's business. So, this is life on a small farm, mostly animal farm, kind of a family farm type situation. And I just like to take people through what we've been doing the past few years, especially the past couple of years. Oh, here's the son or the daughter of Poco and Gumby. She just had a litter. She's a sweetheart. She's kind of like Poco and Gumby are the two main ones. It's Poco's significantly. I might even beat Poco because she's pretty big, but they're the originals. And then they had a litter that included one that kind of looks like her, but the litter's a little smaller. And now, like, the daughter had her own litter, so we have combinations of two, or not little kids, that's what they call them with rabbits, but whatever you want to call them. They've had two of them very recently. I wish I could get some of the little ones, but they're probably not coming out yet. Here's, I don't think this is Gumby, but this is like one of the sons of Gumby. That's kind of middle-aged by now. They're out relaxing because they just had their enclosure cleaned. I'm not going to stress them out too much because they went through a lot of stress yesterday. It's like I could even tell some of the little ones were really like in super shock because they're just tired of us being in there cleaning, but got it done. I don't think anybody will realize how disgusting and how hard that kind of thing is, like especially when you're kind of cleaning more on a semi-annual basis. We should probably be cleaning more, but it is what it is. Oh, here's feed barrels. One's feed. This is scratch, so every morning I don't do it, but my stepdad, he'll come out here, take a few things, and he'll just give them this basically a little snack. Like, their main food's in there, but this is a little snack for them. So there's just little things you could do for your animals to make them feel good, where they enjoy themselves. And honestly, it's sometimes hard work, sometimes tedious work, but it's work that I'm happy with because you're providing a good life for animals that otherwise, first of all, wouldn't get to experience life, and second of all, in another place. Because a lot of people, like, this is atypical what we do with animals, because a lot of people, they'll keep them in cages and will go to farms to buy animals or buy certain things, and they'll just keep them in these either little cages or little enclosures, or and it's heartbreaking to see an animal live like that. Like, oh, look at that, that's cute. You don't usually see them in there, but yeah, they're just enjoying some shade. They're enjoying, because this is the first week of really consecutive warm weather we've had in a while. and they're just enjoying the little spaces in there. But, you know, it's satisfying providing a good life for animals. And then, yes, you kind of skim off of that. You know, we may make some money off of them. We may, you know, we'll eat the eggs. And some of them, yes, we'll butcher at the end of their lives. But we provide, as you're going to see in the future, a very good and fulfilling life for our animals. Anyhow, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for listening. God bless. And probably in a month or two, I will come back with another update with what we've done and how everything's coming along. Thanks for watching.